Welcome, welcome, welcome to this evening session of our third session this year. We're at the beginning of the third session called Deepening the Silence, and we're already on day 45. So an amazing journey we've come to till here so far. So my name is Sia Reddy. You may have seen me before. I'm coming from Austria. I'm a musician, a mom of 3, and I'm calling in from Austin, Texas, where we have all the thunderstorms. So that's us. We have an ongoing theme in session 3, which is transformation. And we shall hopefully all experience this and not just hear about it. We get our foot soaks ready, get your foot soak bowl ready, your salt, your water, you know the drill. And if you're coming here for the first time, welcome to our meditation. We will have the opportunity for you always that you can go and see all the sessions that you've missed. Or if it's your first time, also talk to a mentor. I explain it a little bit in a minute. When you have a one-to-one person that can answer your questions, we also have breakout rooms for you available. And our website contains materials and older videos of all the sessions that happened so far. So help is at hand, and keep an eye on the chat because we're posting all the links also to the WhatsApp group that you can join. Sunday's topic was the opening of the Sahasrara, and today's topic is the left channel, overcoming lethargy. Else, you know, the usual agenda that we have, a little bit of a talk amongst ourselves, guided meditation and foot soak, so have your bowl ready, a video of Shri Mataji, some live music, hence the piano and the subtle headphones, a second guided meditation, and presenter sharing with Q&A at the end. So you can ask all your questions also in this panel. Now may I invite all the other presenters to join me. We have Julie and Sudeep. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Sudeep.
Hello, Sia. Hello, Julia.
Long time no see. Hello, Julia.
Hi.
Hello, good to see you. You do want to say a little bit of something about yourself? Maybe Sudeep, you can start.
Sure. Hello, everyone, and it's good to be meditating together again. And welcome to those of you who are here for the first time. My name is Sudeep Hegde. I live in a small town called Clemson in the state of South Carolina. I work at Clemson University as an assistant professor of industrial engineering, and I've been practicing Sahaja Yoga since 2008.
I didn't know you work at the university.
Yes.
Interesting. Gotta tell me some other time. That sounds fascinating. Julia, you want to say a little something about you?
I have maybe less to share, but my name's Julia. It's super nice to be back with all of you again. I'm looking forward to this meditation, especially on lethargy. Over in Seattle, we have a lot of rain, so this is something I relate to very much. And I'm really, just excited to be here and to share some of what I've learned about how to overcome lethargy through this meditation.
Wonderful. Brilliant. Well, we hear more of you later. So let's get started with the foot soak, and I meet you for the later on for the music part.
All right. Thank you, Sia. So the theme for today's session is the left energy channel. So those of you who've been to these sessions before, you're probably aware that there are these subtle energy channels within us, the left, the right, and the center, and each one has a special significance and relates to certain qualities within us. The left side relates to the past, all of our memories, also our emotions and desires. It is a side of the subconscious because all the memories go and accumulate, and there's a part of your past that occupies your subconscious. So, which means that there are influences, or there could be influences from the past, from your memories, on your present state. Your thinking, just the way you're feeling. And we may not necessarily be conscious of why we're feeling the way we're feeling, or why certain reactions might come to us when we see certain things or meet people or hear something, right? So all of that is basically the role of the subconscious. It's now these channels, the left and the right, have also been referred to in terms of, so the left side is connected to the moon and the right side the sun, because the sun is more about activity, so it relates more to the conscious side of us. The left side is related to the moon, which signifies emotion, desire, and memories, and so on. So lethargy is something that happens when we perhaps there's too much accumulation of memories and or too much accumulation and build up on the left side, on the left energy channel, and perhaps not enough balancing with right side, which is activity. So, for instance, if we are dwelling or have a tendency to dwell in the past or just be lost in our thoughts and emotions, a certain inertia can build in us, which manifests as lethargy. It's difficult to pull ourselves up um, uh, and sort of take action, right? So that's how we tend to experience lethargy. And of course, there are many ways to overcome lethargy, which is to be more active and try and be more disciplined, perhaps. But what is the difference with meditation and Sahaja Yoga? The reason we call it the left side and the right side is because there are these very specific manifestations that relate to these energy channels. So we know that lethargy relates to the left side, which means if we're feeling lazy, lethargic, tired, then we can be aware that there is this accumulation on our left energy channel, and therefore to address it, we have to balance it. We have to perhaps give some energy to the left. We have to or raise the energy of the left, right? So and balance it with some right side energy. So this type of awareness and this state of witnessing ourselves, seeing either lethargy or on the other side overactivity as symptoms of these imbalances across our energy channels, is actually becomes a wonderful tool for us to diagnose and address it through the techniques that we learn in meditation itself. So we will dwell a little bit more on this topic through this meditation today. Let's get started with the foot soak. So if you have your foot soak setup ready, we will begin in a minute. But first, let's just sit with our eyes closed. We can keep our back straight. And allow the attention to settle inward. And we will now raise our Kundalini 3 times. So left hand simply comes up like this, and the right hand goes around it like this. We'll raise the energy from near the bottom of the spine, bring it up over our head, and tie a knot with our hands. So we'll do this 2 more times. Raise the energy, bring it up, and the second time we'll tie 2 knots. And the third time, we will tie 3 knots to establish that energy over our 7th energy center. Next, we will balance our energy channels. So we'll bring the right hand near the left hip and raise the energy of the left, make an arch, bring it all the way down the right, and then raise the energy of the right and bring it all the way down the left. So this is the balancing at the level of the first center. So we'll do this 6 more times because we have 7 chakras, 7 centers. Next, we will use the flow of energy through our hands to vibrate the water and the salt. So we'll just make clockwise motions like this over the water. And as we do this, we can also pray and invoke the quality of the ocean, which is represented here by the water and the salt, and its ability to absorb. And now we can put both our feet inside. Let's take a few deep breaths. And as we breathe slowly, let's just introduce pause between inhaling and exhaling. So we inhale, pause for a moment or two, then slowly exhale, hold, then breathe in again. So this helps steady our attention, just make us more stable from within. So now let's put the right hand towards the earth. So let it just hang by your side, pointing towards the earth. The earth element is particularly helpful in helping us clear the left energy channel. So we make an appeal to Mother Earth. Please absorb all the heaviness that comes from my past. All accumulated energy of the left. I surrender to you. The earth has immense power to cleanse. So we are really just giving ourselves this grounding and allowing this clearing to happen spontaneously with no effort on our part, letting the element do its work upon us. Memory has its role to play, but too many unnecessary memories can weigh us down. So we let go of these, release them as energies into the earth. That can help us also develop a clearer and sharper intuition. As this clearing happens, notice how we feel on the left hand. Notice any difference, such as an increased flow of cool breeze, or just that you feel lighter on the left hand. Sometimes we may also feel some heat escaping from our feet into the water. Any of these are indications of the left channel clearing out. When the grosser energies of the left side are removed, the subtler and more sublime qualities start to shine, like joy, intuition, compassion, inspiration from within. Even devotion. You can bring the right hand back on our lap. We'll raise the left hand towards the sky and appeal to the air and the ether elements to take away all the excess heat from our right energy channel. Please remove all agitation, any tensions, any anxiety. So that my attention is not entangled in the grosser and more material things. It becomes free, becomes peaceful. You can bring the left hand down. Let's just keep our attention at the top of our head for a minute. We can now conclude the foot soak. We'll rinse off both our feet over the water, take it out. We'll set the bucket aside. And we will now listen to a talk by Shri Mataji.
But it's not only that in the East you find all this conditioning, in the West is even worse. For example, they have clubbing. Now there are clubs where people wear particular type of clothes. It's a club. Now if they wear something else, then everybody will laugh at it. Or how to use the spoon and fork is very important in the West. How they use spoon and fork, especially English, have this nonsensical conditioning. If somebody uses the fork and spoon in a wrong way, then finished. He is nowhere. He is not sophisticated. The ideas of sophistication and all that comes through conditioning of ages. Because maybe they were primitive to begin with, they had no clothes, proper clothes to wear. Might be they were covering themselves with some leaves or something. I mean, only hundreds of years back. So now they have jumped to the other side, very particular about their dress, very particular about fork and spoon. And they just can't bear something that is different. I don't like that, it's very common there. I don't like. I don't like. No. They came to India. We don't like. What we don't like? We don't like the way Indians dress up. Alright? You dress up the way you like, let Indians dress up like they like. Now why do you think that your dress in England will suit here in India, which is such a hot, hot, hot country? But no. This is how we are. It's quite funny the way they have. And this conditioning goes on into such a deep manner that nobody sees the stupidity behind it. For example, if the Queen has invited you, you must wear a tailcoat. And now it's very expensive to have a tailcoat. Now, they have to go to a particular shop to borrow it. Sometimes they are loose and sometimes they are tight. I have seen people coming to these parties, Queen's parties. I could never recognize them because somebody looked like Charlie Chaplin, or somebody looked like Laurel, or somebody like Hardy. I could make out who are these people. Then I was told he's that such and such ambassador. Oh my God, I know him very well. What has happened to him? They cannot walk straight. Their gait changes because of the clothes which are so tight sometimes and sometimes so loose. But you have to wear. All these formal ideas come to us as a kind of a part and parcel of you because you accept all these conditionings. So the other side, it goes to that we'll abandon all this. We don't want all this, anti-culture. So I met one gentleman who was wearing a pant which had lots of holes in it. Imagine in the cold of London to wear a pant like that. So I said, why do you want to wear a pant which has holes? He said, this is a holy pant. Holy? My goodness, it will give you varicose veins. It's horrible. What's wrong? We are anti-culture people, so we are taking now to holy pants. I mean, such stupid people are not only who are uneducated, but very well educated people, highly placed people are so conditioned. And this conditioning has caused so much damage to human beings. Spirit cannot be conditioned by anything. Whatever is good, that will be accepted, good, congenial to the spirit. It's a different attitude of a person who is spiritual. like we had people here, I know they are not very comfortable. Some of them are put into the stands here and there, but they are enjoying because they are enjoying the spiritual atmosphere. They don't care where they sleep, where they live, what they have. This is all because you have entered into the kingdom of God. But those who have not, so much worried, this is not good, I want this way, that way, all material happiness they seek, trouble everybody, criticize everybody, get angry with everybody. But actually, they haven't got spiritual joy. And they can never be really in joy unless and until they become fully spiritual. Now conditioning also should be seen. Am I a conditioned person? If my conditioning is there, then is it a good conditioning or a bad condition? At least you should have good conditioning. But even that, to an extreme if you go, you can create a problem for yourself and for others. Most of these rituals and things started as a good condition. Then it became like a trap, and they could not get out of it. It's a part and parcel of it, one has to accept. Then what should we do? We should not react. Just see the drama. And you'll be surprised. Without paying anything, without going to any theatre, every moment you can see the drama going on before, which is so enjoyable. Whether it is absurd, whether it is ridiculous, whether it is a sort of a, as you see in the films, you see beating somebody and all that. You just see it and you do not react.
So let us just stay in silence for a little bit, and if thoughts are coming up, let's not react, because thoughts will come from planning or maybe from the past. So let us just be a minute in silence. And if a thought is coming, we just say, not now. grave, falling. In this world I am apart. No more thoughts in my mind, nothing to bother. Deep feelings, oh so kind, coming from Mother Earth like heaven. Like heaven. I feel the world around of me is made of pure vibration. I feel the pulse of life inside my heart. The whole of me is drenched in love, dissolving in vibration. I feel the life inside my heart, like heaven. Like heaven. Like heaven. Like heaven. I gotta free my mind. I gotta free my mind. I wanna free my mind. I have to free my mind. I gotta free my mind. I need to free my mind. I can't control the mind. With the mind, you go beyond the mind to reach heaven. To be in heaven. In heaven. To feel heaven. I'm floating in the sky. I'm feeling so light. Beyond the mind. So I'm handing over to Julia, who is going to bring us a little deeper with the second part of the meditation.
That was so beautiful. Let's continue to have our eyes closed and feel the joyful music permeating around us as we go deeper into the silence of our meditation. Let's take our right hand and place it on our left heart. Again, allowing ourselves to feel light, peaceful, and joyful. When our left side is out of balance, our emotions tend to cloud our judgment. And so in our heart, let's collectively say silently together, I am the pure spirit. I am not my emotions. I am not my worries. I am not my fears. I am the pure spirit. Bringing our hand back down onto our lap, let's take a moment to see, how am I feeling inside? Do I feel a coolness in my palms? Maybe there's tingling or some heat. We're just watching and seeing, how am I doing? And if we feel any heaviness or pressure in our left hand, there are several ways that we can use this energy to remove these blockages, to go beyond the imbalances of our left side and bring us further into that center channel, that state of joy and peace. And that's what's truly transformative. Not having to be stuck in our tiredness, in our lethargy. Not having to be stuck in feeling bad about ourselves or maybe a situation. But using this meditation to surrender or let go of these things and to go deeper into ourselves. So for today's meditation, we'll continue to go deeper into clearing our left side. And for those of you who have a candle, we'll be using this to help lighten the left side. So if you have one, great. If not, we can use our hands by giving vibrations to these centers. That's also totally fine. So let's take a moment to light the candles. And if you're sitting on the ground or in a lap, or on a chair, we can put the candle just gently on our lap, right in front of the second energy center. And what we'll do is we'll bring our left hand and we'll allow the light of the candle to shine on the left hand. And if you're comfortable, we can close our eyes just for a few moments. We don't want to get too close that it burns our hand. But we use this element of light, of the flame, to help clear away any problems within our energy centers. Just like the foot soak with the salt and the water, we use the light as an element to create a chance for the left side to become balanced. So again, let's take a few slow, deep breaths, allowing our attention to remain above the top of our head. And let's allow any darkness in our left channel to be cleared away by the light of the candle. When we have feelings of exhaustion, where we just don't have the energy to do much, we tend to feel bad that we can't do more than what we think we should be doing. And so with the candle, let's take with our right hand the candle, and we'll bring it up to the left side of our fifth energy center, the Vishuddhi chakra. And as we may know, for those who've been joining us for some time, this energy center is particularly impacted when we feel bad about ourselves, when we feel guilty about something. So let's use the light of the candle in a clockwise circular motion to remove all heat, all imbalances that make us feel bad about ourselves. We ask the light of the candle to burn away any guilt, making us feel unworthy. If you don't feel comfortable giving the bandhan in a circular motion, you can just hold the light of the flame in front of this energy center on the left side of the throat. And if you don't have a candle today, then again, we can just use our right hand to give the bandhan, asking this energy to nourish and strengthen this energy center so that any bad feelings towards ourselves are removed. Another way to use the candle is to go up and down the left channel with the light, crossing at the sixth energy center, and then coming back and going down. We use the light to take away any darkness, any unwanted emotions that try to keep us from feeling joyful. So let's do this a few times, using the candle to go up and down the left channel and asking this light to illuminate our left side and to allow our pure desire to shine through any heaviness. Okay, great. So we can blow out the candle and place it on the ground. And bringing our hands back in front of our lap, palm facing up, with our eyes closed. Let's see if we feel a little bit lighter, a little bit calmer. Let's see if we feel more of these strands of the Kundalini flowing. When our left side is out of balance, it's hard to face ourselves. But when this Kundalini energy rises naturally and spontaneously, it helps to take us beyond our doubts, beyond these bad feelings. So when we desire to know the truth, then the Kundalini automatically takes us into meditation. So taking our right hand on our forehead, we'll gently relax our head into our palm. And here we let go of any conditionings that don't help us to grow. We surrender any thoughts keeping us in the past. We forgive all tiredness and lethargy, keeping us from enjoying ourselves. And most importantly, we allow ourselves to feel love towards ourselves. To go beyond these blockages. And to feel this connection grow stronger inside. Let's shake off our hand, turning our palm face up onto our lap. In this moment, we choose to be at peace. And we watch all of the disturbances melt away. Because in this meditation, it brings us into that state of clarity. Let's massage the Sahasrara at the top of the head, gently, asking more and more strands of our Kundalini to rise. Let's raise our hand a few inches above the top of our head and see if we can feel this energy flowing. Keeping our attention at that spot, we'll bring our hand back onto our lap and take a few more moments to meditate in the silence. So to conclude our meditation, let's collectively raise our Kundalini and give ourselves a bandhan. I hope you were able to feel a little bit more peaceful, a little bit more energy, and for the left side to have cleared a bit. So if you have any questions, of course, about the candling that we did, we can discuss that further in the breakout rooms or at the sharing session. So I'll pass it back over to Sia.
Thank you, Julia. So peaceful, so nice. How can I speak now? But you know me, I can always speak. So here we go. Couple of announcements before we move to the Q&A session. Maybe we can have the slides up. Later on, we'll have a Q&A session with the panel. and talking a little bit more about our experiences with lethargy and left side. So we will follow up with the right side, with developing dynamism in day 46. So please join us on Thursday. You need, if you have, an ice pack. You can get them online, you can get them in bigger stores. They can be reusable Ziplocs, maybe not so recommended. We can, just don't make sure they don't open up. I have seen it happen. Or you have the fillable ones, like you see this lengthy one. Yeah, I personally use these reusable ones. You can get in places like Walmart and things like that. So have that ready. Bring it along. Our session 3 will run, as you know, from May 2nd till June 18th. The sessions will happen on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays for a continuation of 7 weeks. At the same time, 8:45 p.m. New York time. In between, on those days, except Saturday, we'll have the foot soak sessions. Please join us for the foot soak sessions. Have your foot soak ready, and they are absolutely enjoyable. Same Zoom link. Request a mentor if you haven't yet requested a mentor, a person who will listen to your story, who would answer your questions, who can help you meditate, who can answer those questions that haven't been covered in the class. And you can do that by using the QR code below. Any live sessions that you missed are on the websites. You can see the website here, but also keep an eye on the chat. And as you know, WhatsApp community group is nicely distributing messages on a regular basis. Be part of our community. You can now ask questions either to the member named Breakout Room Help, or you can write a question to Q&A or to me directly also. See you ready. Now let's see, that means I have to keep an eye on the chat as well. So can I please have those lovely 2 presenters back? Please join me. And let's have a little bit of a brief chat about left side and lethargy conditionings. So at one point in our lives, we have all experienced it. We must have probably all experienced it. A bit of a chunk of left side in whatever shape and form. Could it be our conditionings, or could it be something else dragging us down, making us unmovable and lethargic? Maybe sad and completely frustrated. So my question to you, can you think of that moment? And what were your tools? What was your process of coping? Can you maybe help us out? We have already seen a wonderful meditation, 2 wonderful meditations tonight to show us how it works, but maybe we can just verbalize it a little bit and see how we can a little bit get alert or aware of what's going on, and that, hey, this is the left side talking. So who would like to start? Okay, Sudeep, go ahead.
Oh no, I was pointing to Julia.
I was pointing.
I was letting her go.
I mean, clearly I have the one to share.
Go ahead.
As I shared before, that I live in Seattle, and particularly during the winters, it's quite gloomy, quite cold, and quite rainy. So it's pretty easy to get very lethargic and tired and just not wanting to leave the house or do anything. And you really start to get in this hole where you just are inside and you don't have the energy to do anything. And so that's something I struggle with here often. And sometimes you don't want to face it. You just want to be in that mood and feel your feelings. And that's totally normal. But we have this meditation as a chance to face ourselves. And this Kundalini, when it rises, it helps to transform those feelings of exhaustion or wanting to be a couch potato and just binge watch a show. And it gives us the energy again, where when we're ready to face ourselves, to face our emotions, it's just with that desire. And so, of course, we can use the meditation, we can use the candle, we can use the foot soak, and there's even more techniques that we can use. But a lot of it can really come down to just introspection and a willingness to see, why am I feeling so low? And am I ready to acknowledge that and move forward? And so, like I think Sudeep shared, we can use exercise, going into nature, using the meditation. And there are, whether it's like Sia, your music was so beautiful, that can help with the emotions too. But when we really touch that state of silence, it's not just for a moment where we feel better, but it prolongs that feeling of freedom from those heavy thoughts. And I'm probably rambling at this point, but what I've realized the last few days is you just have to be a little bit gracious with yourself, a little bit patient, and have that sincere desire inside to not feel so tired. And if you do, okay, maybe today isn't a good day, but tomorrow will be better, and keep trying in the meditation to go deeper and to go more peaceful and quiet.
So do you have any specific Sahaja Yoga treatments or affirmations that you do when you notice you have hit left side? What's your plan of action?
Yes.
Plan of fits.
Plan of attack. Right? So one thing that I do often is I'll put my hand on my heart and I'll silently say inside, I am not this tiredness. I am not these feelings of inadequacy. I don't feel bad about myself. I want to feel the joy of my spirit. And I wait for it to respond, for it to work. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And what I've also noticed is that, like we give the bandhan to our energy centers or to the foot soak bucket, what I sometimes do is any problem that I'm having, I write it down on a piece of paper. And then I give it a bandhan. And I can put it in front of the photo. And I ask this energy to take away any problems that I have for those specific issues, right? So whether it's something related to my job or whether it's something related to my husband, maybe not so specific. But I find that writing it out, it helps to make it clear inside. So you're not just, again, feeling low, but you're pinpointing what is truly disturbing myself or my left side. And when I can recognize that, that's when I can start to face it in the meditation and meditate and see, okay, why am I feeling this way? Why is this bothering me so much? Like, we've been doing renovations. I think I said this on the last 21 days. And I've been
those renovations going on.
Still going on. And I've been struggling with trying to figure out, there's all these contractors and how do you choose the right one and how much this is going to cost and is this the right thing to do? And like the mind goes and goes and goes. And then I get stuck with, okay, this is so much and I can't manage and process this. So then I make no decision, which is no action, which is the lethargy. And that's the overwhelming feeling of it's taking forever. So if you just don't make a choice, it's still sitting on your heart, right? And you can't move forward. So using the meditation to know, okay, take the pressure off. Let's see how do I move forward? What is important? And then not feeling like I have to get a perfect choice, have to make the perfect solution, but just move forward one step at a time. So that's going on right now. But that's something to share. Maybe Sudeep has something to add.
Sudeep,
Uh,
way.
Sure. I can relate to many of those things that you just said, Julia. Conditionings come in both little mundane things, but then sometimes you also have bigger, more significant issues. So I will share one quick mundane and one perhaps something bigger. Uh, when I came into Sahaja Yoga, I had carried this lifelong conditioning of being a vegetarian for the sake of being a vegetarian, really. I never, I might have tried, my father had probably given me chicken when I was a very small kid, and then I never uh, had eaten meat after that. And people around me were eating, and they seemed so much more free than I was. I felt like I was tied down. And the only thing that was preventing me from being more flexible with diet was just my own mind, my conditionings. So then one day, I just decided, I'm the spirit. I'm not I'm not this body or these conditionings. Nothing's going to happen to me. And I had a chicken wing. Of course, I was in Buffalo, so you have to.
Delicious.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
If you have one, you have to have a buffalo.
Yeah, and then I've been, I never stopped after that. So yeah, that was, sometimes these conditionings, they seem like a bigger deal than they really are. And it's actually much simpler than you think to overcome some of these. And then you become more free. And it's also part of letting go of that identification with that mindset or that habit or whatever it may be. Because we are not to be identified with anything really, because we're a spirit, right? So to experience that inner freedom was very nice. Later, there was another sort of some challenging years when I was struggling to get a proper permanent job, and we had a little child, so the family responsibilities, and then there were the financial challenges were climbing, and then things start to weigh in on you, and everything seems like a burden. So there was a period when I was very low, and it was difficult to, we were living in a sort of a dank place, no, not very ideal, not of neither for me nor the family. So, and I have, and people who knew me from before saw the difference in me, and a close professional mentor of mine actually suggested that I get myself tested for depression, and I think I scored on that scale something like a mild to moderate. So not too bad, but but during that whole time, it was just that understanding that I have this backing, that there is a spiritual side to me, and then I have this meditation to um, that the answers, the sort of the reservoir of peace, so to speak, lies within. And I'm probably just having to wade through some dark clouds that have formed these layers over my being. So just the knowledge that I can meditate and that I have experienced that deep peace, the truth before, kept me going. And of course, meditation. And then eventually, of course, circumstances changed, and things took a turn for the better. And then, but that whole episode helped me become a little bit more resilient. And meditation was a little bit like a catalyst during that phase to just keep me going. So yeah, that's, and that also has to do with the left side, basically. That feeling of getting weighed down, and then you're looking for some light somewhere. It's not coming from outside, so then you try to find it inside, and it's there. So
the left side is literally like the way we describe it here. It shackles you down and drags you down and holds you back with your it be the conditionings that limit you, or the lethargy that literally makes you immobile. And we have those candles. We can do a workshop on our left side with a candle. We know the affirmations, and sometimes you do that, and sometimes it just has this missing piece where we still can't pull ourselves completely out, right? It happens like that. I do all the treatments, I do all the affirmations, I still feel not quite there. For me personally, what happens sometimes, or most of the time at that point, is that something happens, like somebody just calls, or I mean, I can really just recommend listening to Shri Mataji's speeches at that point, because that is always an answer there that lifts us out. And just like how you explained this so beautifully, Julia, also, that it's like a coat you just say, oh, this is sitting on me. I'm not that. And I think this is the whole point of how this negativity works. If we think that negativity is this outside entity that we need to grow, because without the darkness is no light, clearly. But the moment, and that's when we have our self-realization, we have the open eyes, we have the connection to see this. This is the first step, really, is how you said, Julia, recognizing it.
Yeah.
Seeing it. What is this? What's going on? You literally sit down and reflect on that. That's just amazing, right? And then you see and say, this is not me. This is not me. This is just the negativity trying to play a trick on me, to pull me down, to take my self-confidence, to make me immobile, to stop my action, to stop my meditation, to stop anything that is good. And I think that's the first step. For me, that's the first step, is recognizing, whoa, what's going on? This is not me. Then what helps tremendously is collectivity every single time, because I've noticed also people around me who are really having very strong left side have a tendency to withdraw and go silent. Actually, sometimes you don't hear from someone. Big chances are they are on the left side. They just go quiet because they cannot face other people. But the best thing to do is just, you got to go to the collective, and you come home and you're, it's all gone, because the collective pulls you out. Now, conversations don't necessarily pull you out, right? Conversations don't necessarily, or friends, it's not always working like immediately, but going for a collective meditation, joining 21 days, for example, may just do that. I have a funny little question I thought of myself just now. The left side, if you were to give it a voice, what does it sound like? What does it say?
I think Sudeep gets to go first.
A classic.
Your turn.
That is the left side. What does it sound? One sentence.
Like a groan.
Sorry?
Like a groan.
A groan.
Yeah, like when I'm trying to get up early in the morning to meditate, and then my body wants to remain there. That's one sound of the left side.
A groan. I love it. Julia, what's a voice of the left side?
That's an interesting question.
Go for it, Julia.
I mean, I have image more than an actual voice of like a goblin with its hands just like digging in and dragging you down. So I don't know if that's a voice, but it's just sort of like, gross and terrible.
That image also is there. Yes.
I feel personally, I have that's when you really hit it very low. One is what for?
Yeah.
And the what for is actually really dark. And it's this lack of lethargy. What for? Why should I do that? It's not seeing the sense.
It's not wanting to do anything. It's just nothingness.
And that can be very dark. And to get out of that, I think it's very important to be collective. And it's very important to listen to the Sahaja talk and just don't identify with it.
Yeah, and another thing with collectivity is sometimes you have to, instead of just being focused on yourself, you have to do something nice for someone else. Just shift the attention. So instead of thinking about my problems, or I'm not feeling well, or I just can't do X, Y, or Z, it's okay, what's something small that I can do for somebody else?
That's exactly
right.
Exactly. Because you shift the attention of yourself, because the left side, one big thing of the left side is the self-destructive element. And we think self-destructive element, well, I'm not hurting anyone,
Yeah,
right? I mean, I'm not hurting anyone. It's just me.
myself.
But that's huge if you think about it. And I think a lot of people have that problem. We all have that maybe at one point.
Yeah.
We have
Yes.
to be very careful with
Sorry,
that.
go ahead, Sudeep.
No,
That's it.
I was just
But
completely
the
agree.
other key is, in addition to doing like small baby steps, whether it's go for a walk to get out, or do something nice for someone else, or give a call, it's also take the time to meditate, because the Kundalini really can solve it if you give it the chance. And I think when we get very left-sided, we don't even remember that that's an option, or maybe we do and we just don't want to face it. But a small meditation can truly transform that feeling.
If I may share just sort of an epiphany that I had when I was struggling with sort of left side negativity, right? When you're experiencing any sort of negativity, whether it's like a dullness or melancholy or whatever, right? There is you want to get rid of it, so you tend to put your attention on it and try to maybe fight it or somehow address it. It just makes it all the more real. And I realize that when you just learn to let go of it as if it's not there, but the Sahasrara is extremely powerful. And I don't think we fully understand its power. It's so easy to get distracted from that state that we've been given through self-realization. And if you're able to just let go of everything, even the urge to fight uh, any other feeling, and simply be in that bliss, it really opens like a flower, and it grows. And these more baser, more uh, you know the lower feelings, let's say, tend to just dissolve then without you even trying to address them. It's one of the most basic things really in Sahaja Yoga, and that we tend to forget sometimes because of this attention on negativity. And I just reminding myself to, keep that as a priority and keep my attention there, and just experience my attention there uh, is it happens to be the most powerful way to address either the left or the right, actually. Right, left or right side issues. Yeah.
Don't give the sloth the attention it wants, right?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I forgot my question. I just had another one, but okay, there's one more here. The positive transformative qualities of the left side. Can you talk a little bit more about what you noticed, how your left side has changed in Sahaja Yoga to maybe some qualities coming out that you never knew you had?
Hi, Karen. Okay, so positive. Yeah, we tend to think negative for left side, but in reality, the left side, the true power of the left side is our pure desire. And what does that mean? So when we get into meditation, or when I get into meditation, and like Sudeep said, I let go of any imbalances or pressures. When the Kundalini rises, sometimes we'll feel inside, this voice. You can say our spirit, our intuition, and it's telling us this is the right thing to do. It might be a random desire of, oh, I should call someone, like Sia said. And then you give them a call, and they were just thinking about you, and you just had like the best chat, right? And it seems so random, but this energy, when it rises and gives you that, oh, I should call someone, that specific person, it's a manifestation of this power. Or for example, when I was in university and I was trying to figure out, should I go for a job? Should I travel? should I go for a master's program? And I had applied and I think I got waitlisted. And, I didn't know what to do. And I think my mom was talking to me and she said, well, what do you want to do? And it wasn't clear. So in my meditation, I had to get to the point where I knew what is reality, what is the truth. And it became very clear that I had this desire to do this master's program. So this desire power for the left side, when it manifests like that, it allows you to then access the right channel, which is the action, which we'll talk more about on Thursday. And, I made the appointment to go speak to the one of the professors, and I really made my case for why I wanted to do and attend this program. And within the next week or two, they offered me the spot. And I have a feeling that if I hadn't done that effort, if I hadn't known what is my true desire, it wouldn't have happened. There's so many people who want that role. So when we have this left side capacity, it can transform not just how we feel, but our actions, because we become part and parcel of our desire, of this innate pure desire. So that's really what I think is one of the positive aspects of the left side.
Beautifully said. Sudeep, would you like to add something?
We already talked about overcoming lethargy, depression, these kinds of things on the left side. There's one more factor that tends to weigh us down, which is fear, which I think Julia mentioned earlier during the meditation. So sometimes you need to just face your fears and not worry about whether it's going to, whether you're taking the most optimum course of action or not. This is slightly dramatic, but a few years ago when we were in Boston, my wife had this sort of unsavory experience. She went to this mall and somebody passed a racist slur against her, and she was a bit shocked. She couldn't react. It was somebody at a kiosk there, and she came back, and I picked her up at the train station, and she mentioned what happened to me. And I didn't even think. I just instinctively did a U-turn and drove straight to the mall, like 30 minutes away. And she asked me, like, when I did the U-turn, like, what are you doing? Are you actually going there? I'm like, just don't talk to me now, because I don't distract. Because if I start thinking, then we might actually just go back home. So let's just keep staying the course. And she just, so once you commit to something, then the juices start to flow. Then you start to think of the possibilities, and then action comes in, and suddenly there's a way. And we actually found our way to this guy, and I had not prepared a speech or anything. I didn't know what to say. It was very out of character for me to go confront someone like that. So but I just went up to him and then just blurted out whatever came to my mind. Like, did you? But the way I think he didn't expect us to come there. And believe it or not, the man started trembling, like visibly, in fear. And we just spoke our minds, and then we just walked off from there. But I'm so glad that we did that, because you're giving a message to yourself that you deserve to be respected, and it's not really just fighting for yourself all the time, but sometimes if you feel innately that you need to stand up for yourself and you actually do it against the odds, it feels good. Like, it feels right. So things turned out okay. We were fine. We came away unscathed, and And fear is like that. It creates these illusions. It creates these ideas that make the things seem impossible, and then you get even more caged in and go deeper into the left side and so on. So sometimes you need a little bit of a kick to break free. And yeah.
That's nice. Wow. Wish I was there. To see that scene, movie scene. I once heard a speech of Shri Mataji where she says, in order to overcome the left side, you have to go to the right side first, and then in the center. And that was such an eye-opener for me, because, when you are in the left side and you just don't know how to get out at all and go straight into the balance, it just doesn't seem to work. So you do have to sometimes push yourself to go on the right side. Even if it's just, okay, you know what, I'm gonna pack my bag and I'm going out now. And I'm just, just send yourself on this journey, or become initiative. I noticed the moment, you may not believe, but yes, the moment I do find it a little bit left-sided, something comes along where sometimes I'm pushed to do some, like 21 days or something initiative, where you think, wow, that just pulled me out, because I had to be initiative and think of other people, and do something for other people. And then you notice, like Sudeep said, your attention is not so much on yourself anymore. It's on something else, and it just poof. It's because that is how the negativity wants to work. It wants to self-destruct. It wants to tell us you're not worthy. It wants to tell us you're no good. It wants to make us small, like in this shopping mall. And these are all these little or big attempts to make us not trust ourselves, not love ourselves, not feel valued. That's why I can listen to Shri Mataji's speeches and feel who you are, remember who you are, and that you're very much worthy of the whole universe. And then we're back on track. Do we have another question from somebody maybe in the group? Otherwise, I think we have covered a lot.
I think one other thing is, like, we do have the mentors, and so a lot of these feelings that the left side brings up, sometimes we're too shy to share, or too timid, or we just don't feel comfortable. But when we're able to speak to someone who, is there to support and help, again, it's another, I don't know what the word is, like support to help go beyond this, so you're not again stewing about those thoughts. Because, right, Sudeep, if you hadn't confronted that person, you would have just thought about it for so much, and your wife would have been so upset and so uncomfortable. But
Yeah.
by working through it, it couldn't have that hold.
Yeah. And now would I go confronting every other person who offends me or my wife? No, because I'm not. That shouldn't become a conditioning either. So the idea is to be free. So, but when you have perhaps previously held back, where you perhaps should have expressed yourself, one or two incidents like this can actually help you balance that.
Totally. But you know what also Julia said with the mentorship, and I think this is excellent, and you should open, but be aware that in the end, who really pulls you out of the left side is only you, no one else. And it can again become a habit or a conditioning to talk about how bad you feel over and over, and nothing actually changes. So if you notice this happening, that you're in a loop and actually nothing changes, then be aware that you got to do those changes. You got to sit down. You got to take up the candle. You got to do the meditation. There's no miracle worker out there who's going to do it for you, especially with the left side. This is the tricky thing. This is such a mean thing. This is how it wants to work. But that's one of the, I think, again, another face or another voice of the left side is to think that somebody else is going to sort it for you. And it's not really happening. Yeah. But collective, yes. And talking, yes. All of these we got to do, but the end result is still our own choice, and it is our own choice to say no, stop. And you need that, what Sudeep said, no, stop. Not going to have that. Not going to let this left side do its thing. Yeah. Well, this was fun. So, is there any more questions? Otherwise, I think before I get told off for emceeing here, You went overtime. No, we could wrap it up and wish everybody a great night. And it was so nice to see you guys again. And
Yeah, it was wonderful.
patience, a
Thank
lot of
you.
joy, a lot of love. So have a good night. And
Bye. Have a good night.
Yes,
wrap it up.
definitely. So lovely to meditate with you all.
Bye, everybody.